Have you ever seen something just blow up online? A single video clip that suddenly smashes two worlds together that you never thought would collide? Well, that's exactly what we're digging into today. We're going to unpack a wild, hypothetical moment where politics and crypto crash into each other. And trust me, it's the kind of thing that could seriously shake things up. So let's get right into it.
So picture this. It all kicks off with just one interview. But this isn't just any interview. It's one of those moments that's so out there you'd think it was scripted. The clip goes viral, and it features former President Trump talking about, of all things, a potential pardon for one of the most powerful people in crypto, Changpeng Zhao, CZ, the guy who founded Binance.
And there it is, the quote that would light the fuse. Imagine Trump on a major news program basically admitting he pardoned the head of the biggest crypto exchange on the planet without really even knowing who the guy was. He might try to spin it, right? Maybe say CZ was the victim of a political crackdown and he was just too swamped to vet the decision himself. I mean, an admission like that would be, wow, absolutely shocking.
Of course, a clip like that wouldn't just stay quiet. It would explode. We're talking millions and millions of views, likes, reposts, the whole nine yards. It would become its own little hurricane on social media, pulling in everyone from political commentators to crypto traders. And you just know that kind of storm is going to have some serious fallout. So, what would the politicians do? Well, as you'd expect, all that chaos online isn't going to stay online for long. It would spill right into the real world, straight into Washington, D.C. And the reaction there would be swift, it would be intense, and it would be completely divided.
And this is where you'd really see that split. On one side, you'd have his critics. Democrats, watchdog groups, they'd be all over it, calling the move totally reckless. Their point would be pretty straightforward. Hey, you can't just hand out pardons like candy without knowing what's at stake. But then, on the other side, a lot of Republicans who might have slammed the other guy for something similar would probably go completely quiet. And that would scream double standard to a whole lot of people.
But, it never just stops at the surface, does it? People would start digging. The really tough questions would come out, like, wait a minute, does this have anything to do with Trump's own financial ventures? Is this some kind of backdoor way to let Binance back into the US? And you can bet people would start bringing up old scandals, comparing it to things like the Mark Rich pardon. Suddenly, this whole thing is way, way bigger than just one soundbite.
So you've got this massive political firestorm. There's no way that stays in its own lane, right? Nope. It was bound to spill over, and where does it go? Straight into the crypto markets. And the thing is, in this scenario, the markets are already in a really, really fragile spot.
And this context is just so important. You have to get this. The crypto market is already on shaky ground. Think about it. We're talking hundreds of billions of dollars just gone, wiped out. Prices are down, people are scared, and confidence is pretty much in the gutter. It's a bleak picture to begin with.
So into this already nervous market, you drop this bombshell of a political scandal. It's like a lightning rod, it just attracts all that fear, all that uncertainty that's already floating around and makes it 10 times worse. You'd have two camps forming instantly. One side saying, see, they're unfairly targeting crypto. And the other side saying, see, this is exactly why you can't trust this stuff. And all that arguing just pours more fuel on the market's fire.
Now, you might be thinking, all right, a big scandal like this, it's going to rock Bitcoin, it's going to hit Ethereum, the big dogs. But what's really fascinating is how these things send ripples out everywhere, even to the smallest, quietest corners of the crypto world. So let's zoom in and look at a really interesting case study, a little token called Pulse Zen.
So what the heck is Pulse Zen? Well, it's this pretty unique token, and it lives on both Ethereum and PulseChain. The really cool part about it is this pay-it-forward thing it has going on. Basically, every time tokens get moved, it creates rewards for the people who are just holding on. So, it's all about rewarding patience, rewarding the hodlers.
And this is where it gets super interesting for a token like this. It's kind of a tale of two timelines. On the one hand, in the short term, all this drama is bad news. It creates fear, traders get spooked, and the money, well, it just dries up. Smaller tokens can get absolutely hammered. But, on the other hand, if you look at the long game, there could be a silver lining. What if all this chaos eventually leads to better, more crypto-friendly rules? That could bring a whole new wave of people into crypto. And those new people, they might be looking for exactly what this token offers, a reward for just being patient.
And you also can't forget the culture here. A lot of folks in crypto, especially in communities like PulseChain, are all about being independent from the old-school financial system. So when a scandal like this pops up and it's framed as us versus the government, it can actually fire them up. It reinforces their beliefs and pushes them even harder towards tokens that are designed for the long haul, not just for a quick headline.
All right, so let's pull back and look at the big picture here. What's the major takeaway from this whole thought experiment? The bottom line is that something like this would basically be a flashing neon sign for a new reality. And that reality is crypto and politics are now stuck together, permanently.
It's simple, really. Crypto isn't just a niche for tech enthusiasts anymore. It's grown up. It's gone mainstream. We're talking about culture, huge amounts of money, and big-time politics, all duking it out in the very same ring. It's a whole new ballgame.
And this really shows you the tug of war that's happening right now. You've got pro-crypto politicians on one side, waving the crypto flag, promising innovation and all this growth. Then you've got regulators on the other side, threatening to bring the hammer down with a bunch of strict rules. And who's stuck right in the middle? Us, the everyday retail investors, just trying to navigate it all.
So a scenario like this one makes it crystal clear. That line we all thought existed between Washington, D.C. and the blockchain, it's gone. It's been completely erased. And that leaves us with a huge fundamental question as we look to the future. As these two massive worlds keep smashing into each other, who's actually going to win? And maybe more importantly, who gets left behind?